What's good, y'all? This is Jason G coming from JSPN headquarters. You know who it is. You know how I do it. This is Friends of Fantasy Football Week 12 recap. A lot of great things happen. A lot of crazy things happen. People are moving into the playoff bracket. People are moving out of the playoff bracket. So without any further ado, let's get to these scores. First up, we have Chicago Big Daddies Carlos versus Damaged Goods Part 2 Roman.
I hurt myself.
So Carlos dropped
today.
122 points to Roman's 106. High scores for Carlos: Jamal Williams 28, great pickup by him. For Roman, Russell Wilson gave him respective 27 points. Now with this drops Roman out of the playoff bracket, and this moves Carlos up into the second slot or second best team, and now he has that bye week. So if he wins one more this coming week, he'll secure that number 2 spot and get a first round bye. Roman, on the other hand, out of the playoff bracket. I don't see him going back into it. Guy's been decimated with injuries again. My advice is for him to fire his personal trainer. I mean, come on. He's been injured 2 years in a row, and dude has to get together. Anywho, like I said, yeah, Carlos has number 2 spot and Roman's out. So I don't see Roman going back in. He needs a lot of luck to move back into the playoff bracket. It's not going to happen. So stay where you're at. Get comfy. Next team, we have No Limit Soldiers. Demetrius versus Saved by the Bell, Danny. When I wake up in the morning and the alarm gets out of warning. So Danny dropped 126.5 points. Demetrius 82.5. Now I know what you guys are saying. Demetrius has been hovering around that 100-point mark, and he's not really to be feared. But if it ain't broke, why fix it? And sometimes you need lady luck on your side to win some games. And if he has a number 1 seed, it's been working for him. Who's to say it's not going to stop? Danny, on the other hand, his season has been a roller coaster ride. He's made a couple of trades, put his team into playoff contention. So if he wins this coming week, he's in. But yeah, like I said, top scorers for Demetrius is Cam Newton with 14.5 points, and for Danny it was Le'Veon Bell for 27 points. Let's see what happens next week. Like I said, if Demetrius is already in the playoffs, but if Danny wins, he's in. So it'll be interesting. Third matchup, it is League of Shady Cousins, Raphael versus the Brady Bunch, Rudy.
Here's the story of a lovely lady.
Alright, now this is no contest. Ralph had 189 points. He had top score of the week. Rudy had 115, was about what he does. But just with top scorers, Alvin Kamara, and for Rudy was Tom Brady. Now, Raphael is out of the playoff bracket right now, and he needs a couple of things to happen for him to move into it. Rudy is on a bubble also. He needs to win next week for him to be in it, and I think he might need another team to lose. Not too sure. But he's going against me, and I'll have my predictions later on. So yeah, that was this week. Next game, pretty good game here. I think a lot of people would say this is probably one of the games of the week. It was Despacito Gabi versus Marco Brown Eye. So this is a tight one, and it went down to the wire. It had me watching the game last night to see what Collins could do for Gabi. Fortunately, it wasn't enough. Marco beats Gabi 152.5 to 140.5. High scores for that game. For Gabi, it was Marvin Jones dropping 30 points. Had a fantastic game. Had a couple of fantastic catches if you didn't have to catch that game for Detroit. Now for Marco, high score was 12 points. Oh, I'm sorry. 12 points. That's the equivalency of Baldwin, Fournette, and Amendola did for him this past week. So who really won that trade? But anyways, Antonio Brown gave him 42 points. He was a high score player for that team. Now this right here had some playoff implication. They both were in the playoff bracket. It's just a matter of where they fall. So Marco is third now, behind Demetrius and Carlos in third spot. So basically, he's in the playoffs, and Gabi needs one more win to secure that spot in the playoffs. If he doesn't, and a couple of things happen, he might be out of it. But let's see what happens this coming week. All right. So now the final game. It was the defending champion versus the league manager Slayer.
Here comes the bull. Here comes the bull. Here comes the bull.
I've been riding a little one-game hot streak, you know. Beat Rafael last week, one league manager. Faced another league manager this week, Mamo. Was able to mollywop him, 185 to 119. Julio Jones double nickeled him, dropping 55 points. Jameis Crowder gave Mamo 29 points. First time Crowder's ever done that, so it is what it is. But yeah, with that loss, that knocks Mamo out of the playoff bracket. And with me, I wasn't in the playoff hunt. I'm just, fighting for redemption right now. I'm pretty much playing the whole axis of evil right now. The whole league manager, Rafael, Mamo, and then Rudy next week. And, so let's see what I could do next week. But like I said, Mamo's outside looking in. He needs to win this week, and then a couple of things that happen for him to be back in the playoff hunt. For me, I'm just looking forward to next week. Looking forward to beating Rudy and just talking shit all summer and spring and some fall. But yeah, that's basically the recap for this week. Let me get to my predictions real quick. First matchup we have D and Mamo going. Demetrius, his record is what it is. So I'm not going to go against it. If I'm a betting man, I have to bet with him. So I'm going to say Demetrius is going to beat Mamo. Makes sense. Then you have me and Rudy. This is going to be a sweet matchup. If I can pull this off, it's justice. Justice for the original King of the North. And if you watch Game of Thrones, it's probably the equivalency of, Joffrey drinking that poison, or this dude, I forgot his name, Ramsay, getting eaten by the dogs. So this is pretty much redemption for me for a lot of things. Rudy loses, he's out. But if he wins, like I said earlier, he might be in it or he might need help. I'm not too sure about that one. But yeah, he's going to be biting his nails, and I'm just going to be sitting back and just hoping that I get another W and finish the season with 3 wins. Next up, Marco versus Danny. Now, this is interesting. Marco's already in the playoffs, and I think if Danny loses and a couple of other teams win, I think Danny's out of the playoff bracket. So Danny definitely needs to win to be in. So, rooting for you, Danny. You win, you're in. Last but not least, we have Ralph and Roman. I mean, they're giving Ralph a cookie right here, to end the season. Of course, he didn't know this was going to happen, or he was going to play a team like Roman. But if Ralph can't win, that just says a lot about Ralph's season this year. 2-time champion, 3-time making championship. I say I have Ralph over Roman. Roman is he's riding off into the sunset and worry about next year, worry about that draft pick. So, I always do a little something special. So here at JSPN headquarters, we have a general manager live via satellite. We're going to ask him a few questions. I felt that it was my duty to, talk about these two individuals who did great last year and just bring them and get their advice on, what happened throughout this whole year. Now, unfortunately, the two people that I wanted to interview, one was Ralph and the other one was Mamo, so I wanted to do defending champion and champion. Mamo declined to comment. I don't know what the hell is going on in that organization. Everything's just in disarray, I mean, ever since Rodgers went down, his third round pick, his team has been at a free fall, but maybe that's why he didn't want to do the interview. But Ralph was graciously wanted to do the interview, so right now let's cut live to Ralph and let's ask Ralph a few questions. Ralphie, my man, congratulations on two-time champion last year. You made championship, fell a little short. So my first question for you is, how was this year different than any other year?
Well, DeMarco are in the playoffs. That's different. But, this was a very, very competitive year. Right now we're in the last week and people are still, trying to figure things out. We don't know who the division leaders are yet. The fact that I'm still in it and I was in ninth place this whole season is crazy. But that's what I'd say is different. The fact that it was just so close, so close.
Okay. Good stuff. Question number 2. You're on the outside looking in. The playoff bracket. What hurt you the most? And what's one positive thing you could take from your team this year?
Well, if I could go back in time and change some things, there are a lot of things that I changed, but I guess the thing that started it, the thing that hurt me the most from the beginning was draft pick number 15, DeMarco Murray. I wouldn't have done that again. I thought I was safe picking up Derrick Henry because I figured if he didn't work out, then Henry would, but it was a ridiculously split share, and I would have stayed away from that if I had known. And along with that, what was one positive? Pick number 20, Alvin Kamara. That was a positive. The guy is beasting, and he should get Rookie of the Year. I don't see how he won't, but he probably won't beat out Fournette. I know CMC, he's probably going to be up there too. I know the quarterback Houston, Deshaun, if he didn't tear that ACL, he would have definitely been up there for Rookie of the Year, but it should be Kamara.
Okay, pretty cool. I can respect that. Hypothetically, if you don't make it, who's going to be in the championship and why? Since you've been in the league, you've been in the championship a few times, might as well ask you.
Well, I'm gonna have to say Marco, and basically I've been saying that the whole season. He has a strong team. We'll see how he can go in the playoffs, because we know at the end of the season, when teams start resting players and you gotta start looking at matchups a little differently than you do during the regular season. I don't know if Marco knows about that. We'll see.
Okay, good call. Good call. Final thoughts on your final game.
I think I'm lucky that I'm getting Roman. I'm getting him when he's hurt. The guy's hurt. He lost Elliott, and like the Cowboys, Roman crashed. So I think I got it. We'll see. All right.
Well, there you have it. Thanks a lot, Ralph. Appreciate you coming on, doing this little video chat with us. Good luck tomorrow. Hope you make the playoffs, man. And with that being said, Thank you for watching. Just another segment of the JSPN Fantasy Football Recap. Appreciate all you guys. Had fun this year. Hopefully I get that W. I know a lot of you will be happy with me winning tomorrow. So root me on. The original King of the North. But good luck to you guys tomorrow, and kind of excited to see who falls what and all the shit talking that's going to transpire after tomorrow. But thanks a lot. Peace out. Good night.